Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Gunners in Oz. Today, we are here to review Arsenal's victory this morning against West Bromwich Albion at the Emirates. I'm here with a very regular and good friend of mine, Roshan. How are you, my friend?
Good, buddy. How are you? Very good today after that result. So I'm very good. How are you?
Yeah, very good. The sports world is finally shining its light on me. So, yeah, I got Arsenal winning this today. My NFL team won. Adelaide's in the grand final. Can't be happier. So,
Great set of results.
yeah, great set of results. Anyway, we're here to talk about Arsenal's game against West Brom. So without further ado, we'll just jump into it. So there are a few just I think before we start getting to the details of the game, there are a few I say more talking points in it that came out of the game. The first question, Roshan, is: were we lucky?
Ooh, we were lucky to have not conceded a penalty. I think we were lucky there. But overall, I mean, we had massive amounts of possession. We had, yeah, we were good going forward. Little shaky at the back, but we got there in the end. Yeah, I'd say that we were lucky to not give away a penalty, but I think it was safe to say that we controlled that game well.
Yeah, true. I agree. I was actually quite happy with our result. It's only when I've seen the opinions of pundits, of fellow fans, of co-workers telling me that Arsenal got lucky this morning. Maybe just question to see, ask the question of you guys to see if you thought similarly. But I disagree. I thought we were very good. I think it was a professional 2-0 performance from us. The next question, and this was something that came up on Arsenal Fan TV when DT was talking about it. I wasn't really aware of it because they were watching it on TV. But apparently, every time Kieran Gibbs touched the ball or he went to take a corner, the Arsenal fans were singing his name. It's
Oh,
very
really?
interesting, though. Yeah, it's very interesting though because, yes, he was a great servant to the club, and he didn't really leave us the way some of the other players have. It was more that he didn't really want to leave the club, felt that he didn't have a position in the team, so therefore that's why he's been sold. However, he's playing for the opposition, so he's literally there to try to score against us or to hurt us in some way, stop us from scoring. So why would the fans sing his name during the game? Do you reckon that was right?
Um, I think. Well, I didn't even know that happened, to be honest. But the fact that it did, it shows a little bit of biasness in our end, because I would imagine that. I guess, yeah, he didn't leave us in the way that others have left us, but we've lived a lot more other players, or we've lived other players more, and we've given them shit when they've come back. Um, but it's good to see that we're not hostile towards our ex players, not all of them anyway.
Yeah, no, it is good, but I think that as DT said, and I fully back his opinion here, is that there's a time and a place. So at the beginning of the game, when his name is introduced, yeah, cheer him, or he'll, clap, and you can, sing his name, or at the very end of the game after the game is over. But once the game, like when he's going to go take a corner, and the corner is to try to score against Arsenal. Why would the Arsenal fans rise up in that corner and start chanting Kieran Gibbs' name?
I don't know, man. Can't. Um, well, I guess it's not something I would have done. I wouldn't have booed him either, you know. But
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
I
not
guess
booed.
that
I mean,
I guess cheering him on in that manner while he's trying to score. Because the funny thing would have been is that if he did end up scoring, what would we do then?
no, it would have been gone quiet.
Yeah.
Like, it's interesting. I wasn't something I was aware of again until after the game, but I thought that was a very interesting point. And my third main talking point we'll talk about in the middle of more of our match notes. So here we go with the match. First moment of note, and I'm gonna also. This wasn't a moment of note again until after I heard Tony Pulis's post-match interview, and he said that he believes that Alexis Sanchez dived to win that free kick in the beginning of the game. The one that he missed, the one he went wide, it wasn't the one we scored from.
I need to see that one again. I don't think so. I don't think Sanchez is a player that behaves that way. He's a very genuine player, even I think it was in the second half where he did get a little barge. He got back up on his feet straight away, try to win the ball back, and not lose possession. So yeah, I need to see the thing again, but I don't think he's that kind of player. Yeah. What do you think?
Look, I did see the replay. I think there was contact and that he made a lot of it, but so do most professional footballers. Yeah. Which brings me to the argument of the next one. And in some cases, if you were watching Andy Townsend, what he was saying at the end of the game, he was saying that, yeah, we've opened up this new regime where diving is bad. I mean, of course, I think a lot of us for a long time, I think it's good that suddenly they're trying to eradicate diving from the game. But he's saying that sometimes it's smart from a football player that if he does get contact, that he does go down and stay down because he can then get the call. It's sort of part of playing the game.
Yeah,
it's not necessarily diving like you decide to fall over and pretend like something happened. That's a dive. But if there's a contact, then he's the defender's sort of giving you an invitation to fall over, which brings us to the next moment of the game, and that is Jay Rodriguez is tackled by Mustafi in the box. He falls over. He gets back up. He plays on because he sees that Czech has left his entire far post exposed. Luckily for Arsenal, it comes off the post. Should West Brom have been given a penalty, A, and B, should Jay Rodriguez have gone down and stayed down instead of playing on from a West Brom point of view?
I think it shows his mentality that it's a good mentality not to go down. You don't want. I mean, you've got to think about it like, where do you draw the line? And it's a conversation that's not going to end anytime soon. I think he did the right decision of getting up and trying to win with his own grit. But saying that, there definitely was contact. If he had gone down and he stayed down, that's a clear penalty to me. But the fact that he did, I like what Thierry Henry, if you saw the halftime analysis, he was like, let's talk about the football. It came off the post, guys, and I can't remember who's the guy in the front. He could have scored, but he didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole point about going down for a penalty, if it's a genuine contact like that, I think it is a smart thing to do. I mean, if it was our forward who was on the receiving end of that tackle, we'd want him to go down and be like, hey, get the penalty because that's clear contact, clear violation of the rule, right? So you're not really you're not cheating the system. You're just taking advantage of an advantage that's already been given to you.
Yeah.
So I don't. Yeah.
See, here's where I completely agree with your what you're saying. And a lot on the pundits were saying, oh look, I think it also has to do with the referee. Like, why isn't he giving him that? And what I believe is that Rodriguez chose to play on. I think the referee was fully ready to point to the spot if Rodriguez chose that option. Because Rodriguez chose to play on, that is why the penalty was not given. That's just my belief.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Because as soon as he got up, there was still an advantage on his side. There was still an opportunity for him to score. so the referee could not pull it back because, I mean, he took the shot. He took the shot. It hit the post. It was a good shot, and then it came off, and the other striker had an opportunity to score as well, but he kicked it wide. By that point, there were two opportunities to score. How do you stop that as a referee? Stop that play when they are that's the opportunity.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, because I basically just wanted to maybe just mention that just to sort of just show that the referee, I think, today actually had a very good game. He got a lot of stick, but I thought that the calls he made today, unlike a lot of the referees I've seen referee in this league in particularly, he was very responsible with the way he made his calls today.
Yeah, I agree. He was controlled. He was calm and controlled.
Yeah. Anyway, enough about talking about West Brom. Let's talk about Arsenal and the good stuff that happened in this game. Arsenal win a free kick at the edge of the area, and Alexis Sanchez takes it. It's a beautiful free kick. It's another he had like maybe 3 or 4 really good free kicks chances in this game. This one, of course, was the most effective, which Foster had to palm down. But luckily for us, we bought a striker for £52 million, and this is what £52 million gets you: a guy who can sniff out goals, and he's a killer right in front of the net. Then
yeah, I was really happy with that, man. It was a great. I just want to talk again. I mean, every time I come on the show so far, I talk since the Premiership started and the transfer window's closed. I keep talking about Sanchez and his attitude. Complete changed. He's so positive. He did get frustrated here and there, which I completely understand, but it just shows his attitude that he wants to win. He had a great free kick, and Lacazette finishing it like the killer striker or poacher that he is in front of goal. It's great movements, great to see that our attacking threat up front. And it's funny that the commentators was talking. I think it was like the 70th minute when Ozil and Giroud was warming up, and the commentator just mentioned, "Oh, look at the depth that Arsenal have now." So I think we did really well, and going forward we did really well as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Arsenal's team on paper, and I've done a bit of evaluating since, and of course we were freaking out a lot when the window was closed. If you look at Arsenal on paper, we have a very, very good team, and we have a very, very deep team. I think which would be evidenced by the fact that we can play basically 3 different teams in 3 different competitions. As you'll see a mixed lineup in the Europa League. You'll see your first choice lineup in the Premier League, and you'll see a different form of mixed lineup in the Cup or the Carabao Cup. That shows that Arsenal have immense depth, not only in the first team, but also through the academy. That we have players coming through the academy at this moment in time who are very talented, very exciting, and are actually able to play on the big stage and hold their own.
Yeah, I agree.
So, look, I think we underestimate ourselves, and we say that we can't win anything, which I think is a lot to do with the attitude and the belief within the club. And I think maybe if we as fans back the club a bit more while the season was going on, instead of worrying about every detail or constantly trying to play like teacher, like marking every single game. I feel like at Arsenal Fan TV, I mean, I love Arsenal Fan TV. I'm, a very loyal watcher, and if it wasn't for Robbie, people like us wouldn't even know, see a reason to come on and voice our views, because he was basically the pioneer of that. But I feel like every single match now, it's sort of like, this is a standard Arsenal needs to be with. So today, are we higher than that standard? Are we at that standard? Are we below that standard? And then suddenly now we believe that standard has lowered. So now we think, oh, it's really sad to think that we're constantly, maybe it's because of social media and all of that we're constantly under the microscope. Where I remember back in the heydays of Henri and Bergkamp, there wasn't social media, and I don't think those players got anywhere near as much of a scrutiny or a made aware of from their own support as much as our fans do, and I think it does play a part. Now I'm just thinking about it. I think it really does play a part.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I mean, at the end of the day, they're players, they're people as well. They do get affected by things like this, no matter how much they try to avoid it. And it doesn't help that, we're putting it in on their face whenever they have a down day. Pretty sure they know it as well. So I absolutely agree with you. The fact that we need to get behind the team 100%. Not just throw in the towel every time we make a mistake or we lose a game.
Yeah.
So I think another thing that I think that Arsene Wenger is doing as well, he's setting the team up. Like I believe he's actually setting the team up now for bigger success. Couldn't really see it in the past. Feel free to disagree with me if you think so, but
Yeah.
I think that the team structure that he's doing now will be able to play without key specific superstars. For example, if Sanchez leaves, the system will still be in place where we can still play that formation. What do you think? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, a very, very big piece of evidence towards your theory is the fact that at Chelsea, we started with neither Mesut Ozil or Alexis Sanchez in the starting 11, and we got a point from Stamford Bridge.
Yeah.
I mean, case closed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a very good point.
Yeah. I think that's the Wenger out brigade needs to calm down. I was part of that Wenger out brigade.
I still am. I still am part of that brigade.
Yeah, but if you think about it, no one's gonna come in and then be able to fix this. He's actually trying to fix it now. We've given him a lot of time. He was stubborn as hell, but now there are changes that are actually happening, and it's evident. You can see it. Sometimes I disagree with the fact that you bring in you keep people like Giroud and your big players out for a long time, and also on top of that, you put your key players on for like 60 minutes and then swap your teams after that. But it seems to be working so far. I'm really keen to see how it's going to work in the long run. With hopefully it balances out in terms of who plays and who doesn't play and keeps everyone happy. But it looks like he's actually creating a blueprint that's currently working.
Well, right now it's very interesting because we're going to go on to this subject a bit later on the show. But Austin's actually sort of managing also like a bit of like a FIFA team where he used to play the same players every week and he would risk them, he would overplay them. But now he's able to manage them. He's able to sort of look at that green to red meter and see, oh, well, this player is on, light green, so I might not start him. I'll have him come off the bench. This player is on a full green, so I'll start him. I'm noticing that's sort of the way that it seems like he's managing the team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. The form meter. You look at the form, it's like, is he in? Is he out? No, all right. We'll swap him out. If how much fatigue does he have? Too much fatigue. All right, we'll take him off early, kind of thing. But it's good. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far, and it's been working. So obviously, I'm not going to complain.
Well, moving on towards more of the game. So of course, with that goal by Lacazette, we were up 1-0. But in the first half, I think he was hardly comfortable. West Brom created a lot of chances, including not long after we score, actually. Ramsey gives the ball away at the edge of our box. At this point in the game, by the way, we have 81% of the ball, which is just insane. Because I've actually rewatched this in the replay, and I've seen, as this moment comes up, it says the passing stats.
Yeah.
So it's literally kind of poetic in this way. Ramsey gives the ball away. He's trying to pass the ball to El Neni, and he just goes past him, and Krychowiak steals the ball. He plays a 1-2 with Gareth Barry, and Krychowiak starts running down the wing, and then of course he creates a chance for Jay Rodriguez, which Nacho Monreal saves off the line. I mean, it beats Czech. Rodriguez beats Czech, and if it wasn't for Monreal's extra bit of effort, look, but Monreal gets stick for being center back or playing out of position. But I've actually said in the last few podcasts that he's actually always a constant 7 out of 7. I think this is an instance where I think he went beyond that. Do you reckon that Monreal is a very undervalued member of this squad?
I do think so. I think he plays a bigger role than everyone thinks of. I think he doesn't make as many mistakes as he used to at the beginning, and people tend to overlook that. I mean, look at what he did today. He was just, if you watched his run, he was far behind. He left everyone, ran past Czech, just in case what happened, and he read it perfectly correct. So spot on there. I think we should give him more credit than what he's getting at the moment.
Yeah, no, agreed. What do you reckon about that clearance? I mean,
it was fantastic clearance. It was great. It wasn't just a sloppy clearance just to, push it like a couple of meters out. He smacked the hell out of the ball, and duly so. And it's what I like to see. Someone else who did that as well. Lacazette. There was another clear.
You know what I find very ironic? There's a player playing on the other side for West Brom who, in an FA Cup final back in 2014, made almost the exact same clearance when we were 2-0 down against Hull.
Oh, really?
Kieran Gibbs.
Oh, yes. That's funny.
Yeah.
Mate. What I like to see is full clearances of the ball. I mean, that's obviously, no choice. Yeah, I mean, it's not like he could pass his way out of that. But what I would like to see more of Arsenal is just fucking kicking the ball out of park, man. Yeah, doesn't matter.
But see, this is where I get worried about Arsenal, especially defensively, and a lot of experts would tell you, defensive experts who talk about like some of the greatest defenders of the game when they come on and they speak. They say that great defending isn't a great last-ditch tackle. Great defending is always gone under the radar when the game is kept at a clean sheet, and it seems like the team is never under pressure because the defense is so imposing and it's so organized that you never need to see that world-class clearance off the line because it's not even going to get to the point where it gets there. I think that's right now the problem with Arsenal is that we're too Jekyll and Hyde. I
think we're more Hyde, man. Man, the amount of times that we lose the ball just by trying to pass it in our own box is ridiculous. I mean, I'm talking about. I know. A while ago, I'm talking about how we have a blueprint for success, but man, some of the things we do at the back pisses me off. It's just just clear the fucking ball. Why do you have to pass it? I mean, Bellerin today. What is he doing, man?
Well, that's the point. This is where my massive criticism of Wenger. This is one of the I reckon top 3 things that I hate about Arsene Wenger, although I love him really, and that is that he allows his shit to go on. He allows his players to fuck about too much and not get punished for it. I mean, Sir Alex Ferguson, if he had players who were dilly-dallying on the ball and playing silly passes for fun and giving the ball away, he would literally pull them by the ear and saying, "You fucking
get the head right, man.
You're not playing for 5 games."
Yeah, they get the head right.
Exactly. Like that's Wenger's too nice. He allows his players to, prance about with. Did you see Hector Bellerin? He had 2 extra little knots in his hair today, like a girl. Like he looked like his girlfriend's haircut. Like, mate, if I was Arsene Wenger, I'd be like, Hector, come back to training, and your hair is going to be cut. All right, like it's none of this bullshit. These players prancing about, like it's something that they're God-given right to be playing for Arsenal, and they can.
Yeah, just fucking concentrate on football, man.
Yeah.
Like, but I think there's a couple of players who just made consistently mistakes throughout the season so far. Bellerin so far is one of them. I mean,
Well,
he's a good player. He's had so much potential, but he's just not living up to the mark. The other guy who really pisses me off every game, and
is it Xhaka?
fucking Xhaka. Every time, every game, he makes at least one stupid ass fucking pass, and because of that, and directly because of that, we get counter-attacked.
Yeah, it happened a few times in this game as well.
Yeah.
Including an instance I'm about to talk to next. So it's actually a really good. So this attack starts, of course, with Granit Xhaka giving the ball away, not once but twice, because he comes in to try to clear, and the ball comes right back out to our old boy Kieran Gibbs, who puts in a really dangerous cross again for Jay Rodriguez, who is probably West Brom's best player on the day, given how many times we've spoken about him on this podcast. Making his debut in mentions in this podcast and then abusing it. Yeah, so Gibbs puts in a really good cross to Rodriguez. Again, what we were speaking about Hector before, here's a positive for Hector. This is actually affects his match rating for me when we talk on later on. He makes another clearance where he this time forces West Brom out for a corner instead of a goal.
What's the question?
No, it wasn't a question. That was just more.
That was just a fuck up. That was just a Xhaka fuck up.
But bro, all this has happened in the first half. So somehow we've ended the first half 1-0. I remember seeing a tweet, I think by Goonies in the USA podcast, and they wrote the first 10 minutes. Just stay up in the first 10 minutes of the second half. Just keep your cool, like, because it was so on edge. Like that halftime whistle came to also the perfect time.
Yeah,
they had like 3 or 4 or 5 corners in a row. And every time, for some reason, Kieran Gibbs is suddenly a corner.
Yeah.
I mean, it shows how shitty West Bromwich Albion are if they're going first choice corner taker is Kieran Gibbs.
He was putting in some decent balls in though. Gotta give him that.
Yeah, no, you will have to give him that. But yeah, this was the moment of the match where the corner of this was in the North Bank, so this is where Arsenal's main support is. Cheering Kieran Gibbs at every corner. This is when that happened. Anyway, second half comes and Arsenal look a lot better. And this is when Arsenal put the game to bed, essentially. And Aaron Ramsey takes the ball on himself. He sort of does a bit of a Cruyff turn or Ronaldo chop sort of in the nearby the byline, and he runs down the side of the byline, and Neom sort of he doesn't really take him out with his feet. He more shoves him.
Shoulder budges. It was like a stronger shoulder budge.
Yeah, he shoulder budges him out of play, and the referee points to the spot. We get a penalty here, and so a lot of the pundits were saying, "Oh well, the referee is clearly biased." The West Brom fans said that the referee obviously was wearing an Arsenal shirt underneath his refereeing top. I don't know. As we mentioned before, I think he would have given Jay Rodriguez the fair call. In this instance, does he give Aaron Ramsey the fair call?
This is one of the ones where it could go either way on the day. It depends on what's happening. You know, who's the referee. I saw enough, I think, for it to be given a penalty because Ramsey had already gone around him. He would have gone through. He could have crossed it in. I think we had some players in the box who were ready. So it was a threatening situation, and by Neom taking him out like that, pretty much took away our possession and advantage. So I think it is a penalty. It's hard to say that we got given a penalty here, but the ref didn't give a penalty to West Brom. The thing is, when Neom took him out, there wasn't we didn't have advantage, so it was a clear penalty. It was a foul, right? And if a foul happens in the box, that's a penalty.
Yeah,
So I think the referee did the right thing.
yeah. Didn't he book Neom as well? Give him a yellow card too, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah. And the very next thing, which of course isn't really mentioned mostly, but this is something that was going on, especially in my living room, with all the members of my family who were sitting there watching the game this morning. And it was, please, 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 please tell me Lacazette's taking the penalty. Because
Well,
I know, no, because everyone and every Arsenal
Ramsey?
fan knows that Lacazette is a penalty merchant. That was one of the big sticks that he gets. And for some reason, every single time I asked, unless it's Cazorla or back in the days Arteta, every time I want a specific penalty taker taking the penalty, he goes with literally the most least reliable person on earth each time. The last person that I want to have taking the penalty. And that includes Alexis Sanchez, because he makes me nervous when he takes penalties, because he tries a Panenka or something fancy instead of actually blasting it.
Yeah.
This time, it was a Lacazette. And
How good was that penalty, though? How good was that
I've
penalty?
seen that penalty before. I feel like I've seen that penalty before on YouTube videos. The keeper goes the right way, but there's nothing you can do about it.
You can't do anything. I mean, that's how you know that's a world-class striker, man. He put it so much in the corner with so much composure. It's just the keeper could not do anything. It was so good to see.
Yeah. Which begs the question, by the way, because this Alexander Lacazette's arrival was something that got all Arsenal fans very excited. I remember when they were in Sydney, and we got to see his debut, and it was there was such a buzz about this, because of how the way the window ended, and it seems like Arsenal were very disorganized in the window. It overshadows the fact that we suddenly, if there's a change in Arsenal's football club now, is that we have a reliable player like Alexander Lacazette. We have a lot of players in our team who, especially when it comes to penalty takers, are not reliable from the spot. Mesut Ozil has never scored a penalty for Arsenal. Alexis Sanchez, I think, has missed more than he's made.
Ramsey kills someone every time he scores. So
yeah. But he also, do you really feel confident that the ball goes in the net? Like, we actually have a killer now in front of goal, a world-class striker type of player. Of course, like I remember so many years we've gone up against strikers when we give away a penalty, and you're like, well, there's no way that we're gonna save this from this guy. I mean, even as much as Jamie Vardy, like every time Jamie Vardy goes on a penalty, he does that.
Yeah,
Leicester have a player like that, and we don't. You know what I mean? I mean, we do now. So I think that was definitely a massive positive coming out of this summer. Now, this is the final point, match moment that I'm going to bring up. And I mean, there are a few other ones. There was a Ramsey miss. But Alexis Sanchez pulls out a really, really nice ball for Lacazette. Almost an impossible ball. You thought it was slightly ambitious, but Lacazette nicely takes it down. He takes an extra touch off his knee, and then you think he's going to create some sort of worldy shot to score himself a hat trick, but instead
he blasts it out
into the clock end. I mean, does that put a bit of a damper on on Lacazette's night? Of course, he gets taken off immediately after that.
No, definitely not, man. He had a great game. It wasn't just the goals that he did. There's a couple of times where he just has such quick feet, which I really like to see up front. I think he had a great game. That little miss is not going to dampen his night at all. He was always going to come off. Wenger was always going to put Giroud in, so it was all about a matter of time. He went in there, got the job done. I mean, that's what we need to do. I mean, we're there to win. We're there to play football, but we're there to win as well. So he did his job. He did everything that he wanted to do.
Yeah.
We can talk about personal accolades later, mate. We just need to continue winning.
Yeah, agreed. And as well, there was also a shot earlier in I think the first half. But I think before we even no, was it before we take? Yeah, I think it was before we took the lead, where Ramsey pulls it back to him, and the shot goes over the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think overall, my question to you, I tweeted this. This is Alexander Lacazette's best game in an Arsenal shirt. Do you agree?
Ooh.
He did score a really good goal a couple weeks ago against
I
Bournemouth.
I
But
do
I
I
think in
do
terms of the impact of the game from his
yeah.
entire time on the pitch,
I agree. I agree. He was really good. As I said earlier, he had a really good clearance that I like, where he just smashed the ball, and in defense. He had a really good game down. He had a really good game up front. I really like his he did the whole that real quick taps to switch his feet, and then he got
yeah,
fouled. Yeah, yeah. I thought he did really well. He played really well. I still think that he can get better. He's still obviously trying to learn how to play with his teammates. So we have to understand he's only what 4 or 5 games into the season playing with his new teammates. So it's going to take a while for him to really understand the movement and build a partnership.
yeah.
So
One thing I think was very interesting is that do you reckon this is sort of a part B of that question? Do you reckon the fact that he's playing with Alexis Sanchez for the first time isn't a coincidence that suddenly Lacazette has a better impact? For instance, the first goal comes because Alexis Sanchez takes a nice free kick, which just barely gets saved. So it's sort of like when Alexis he just does the mopping up. Like there haven't been players who have created such moments where Lacazette can mop up.
yeah. Yeah, I think so. It was actually something that I was talking about earlier in the day. We have the opportunity. We've got great players now. We've got a couple guys who we've broken our banks to get players over the years. Why don't we play them together? I mean, I understand you want to have balance and stuff, but if we need to win the game, you got to put your best players up front.
Yeah, well, it's telling that we're more than 10 games into the season and we still have not seen our three best players together. That
Yeah.
front line we've been talking about forever, wanting to see play, we still haven't seen it. I mean, the question is it going to be Brighton at home on Sunday? Is that going to be the first time we see that, or does
Probably
Wenger
not,
persist
man.
with Aaron Ramsey in the front three? It seemed to work today. So
Yeah, it's difficult to say what Wenger's gonna do.
yeah. Moving on now to the match ratings in the game. I've written down. Usually, I actually do it off the cuff. This time, I took some time. Came prepared today, guys, for my match ratings. So I'll read you what I have. Actually, no. I'll actually ask you first what you would read because you could do the off the cuff ratings. I'll do the really
All
thoughtful.
right.
Petr Cech, out of 10.
I'll give him a 7.
Boom. That's exactly what I had.
Yeah. Boom.
Yeah, I mean, 7 is my I played a decent game, didn't do anything wrong, but didn't do
Yeah.
anything either sort of game.
Yeah. I didn't think they. I didn't think that they had he had too much to do. His defense was sorry, man. Just his defense was what do you call it? What was good enough. They had a lot of clearance. The only reason I didn't give him an 8 was because he had Monreal come and save his butt.
Yeah, and the post saved his butt on a few occasions.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Koscielny. So my rating for him is interesting here. I think might be unexpected. What do you reckon your rating is for Koscielny?
I'd give him an 8.
Really?
Yeah. What'd you give him?
So my opinion of the back three today, this is a rare occurrence, but Koscielny was the worst of the three.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I thought he
I
he
mean, I
didn't
know
make too many
Mustafi
mistakes.
has one moment where he almost gave away a penalty,
Yeah.
but outside of that, Mustafi was very, very solid. I think if I watched back sort of this game in highlights after watching it in full, and a lot of the chances where West Brom have in the first half, Koscielny is all over the place. Like he's not covering, he's not tracking the areas he's meant to be, or he's sliding in desperately because he's a bit late on and he wasn't really paying attention. So for me, Koscielny got a 6 today. It would have been a 7, but then I've reevaluated it and I was like, you're not getting away with this one, buddy. So yeah, Mustafi.
I'll give him a 7.
That's exactly what I gave him. As again, nothing wrong, but nothing right. I mean, almost something incredibly wrong. And if the referee had pointed him to the spot, I probably would have given him a 5 or a 6.
Yeah.
But given that didn't happen, he had a solid game. Penalty never happened. Next one, and this one is probably going to be the best of the three. I don't know if you're going to agree with it, especially with that clearance. And that's Nacho Monreal.
Yeah, I should have actually, thinking back now, I can't believe I gave Koscielny an 8 because I think Nacho Monreal should get the 8.
Yeah, I gave Nacho Monreal a 9.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I thought he was outstanding. I mean, not only that, I noticed at times he was switching with Kolasinac, where he told Kolasinac, he said, "Hey, you stay back in my position. I'll go up on the wing and create stuff." And then they swap back. He was involved in the attack, but not only was he involved in the attack, as I just mentioned, but he was also communicating when he wanted to be involved in the attack. Rather, something that I think players who've played in that position before don't do. They're like, okay, I'll go ball forward. Oh shit, I should have told somebody to cover my spot. Damn it. Whatever. Oh, 1-0. Oh, cool. You know, I thought his work rate was fantastic. He got Arsenal out of jail many times, and I thought just probably one of the best defensive displays next to Kolasinac this season for me. Speaking of the devil, Kolasinac.
Give him an 8.
Yep, that's where I have him at as well. And finally, to complete the defense, Bellerin.
Give him a 6.
Ooh, I gave him an 8.
You gave Bellerin 8.
And it was tough because I could have gone anywhere from 6 to 8, but I just thought Bellerin was actually quite good in attack. Like there are many times where he skipped past I think it's more for his defense, for his attacking displays.
Yeah.
And also the challenge he makes on Jay Rodriguez to save our ass right before halftime was crucial. So I think I thought to myself, if I'm going to mark Monreal out for a moment in the game where he saved Arsenal, might as well do it for Hector as well.
Fair call. Can't argue with that thinking.
Yeah. Anyway, on to the midfield. And hold your harshness on this guy just a bit. That's
5.
Xhaka. 5.
Nah, I'll give him a 6. He didn't do too bad today. I'll give him a 6.
Yeah, I gave him a 6 as well. That's exactly where I rated him.
Yeah.
Next is Mohamed El Neni, and I don't know about you, but I saw he was in the top 3 candidates for man of the match according to Arsenal.com.
I thought El Neni had a really really good game. He was really composed. I don't think I saw him make any mistakes today. His passing were good. I give him an 8.
Yeah. For sure, I agree with that. That's exactly what I gave him too. All right, moving to the front 3 now, and Aaron Ramsey.
Just because he got us the penalty. 8.
That's exactly the score I gave, and it's exactly the reason why. Assists, I always think about it on FIFA. So if you score or assist in the game, your match rating goes up. So
Yeah.
it has to go up. And by that logic, Alexis Sanchez
8.
as well, because he also had an assist. So yeah, Alexis Sanchez 8 for me. And I think, look, he got a lot of criticism about he showboats around, but I thought this was a solid performance from him. He threatened West Brom every time he had the set pieces, the free kicks. He should have scored 4 free kick goals today. He was superb. And finally, for me, joint man of the match. So you can almost guess what match rating I gave him, considering I just played my hand. Lacazette.
9.
Yep. Boom. Yeah, agreed. 9. He scored 2 goals.
Yep.
The only thing keeping him from 10 was a hat trick. So
yeah, absolutely. And playing the full game.
Yeah, absolutely. On to the subs. I'm only gonna just for a forewarning, I'm not gonna rate Maitland-Niles today because he literally played for 6 seconds.
Dude, you know what? When he was waiting, I was so ready to make a meme saying that legend says Maitland-Niles is still waiting for his substitution. But then he came on.
He literally came on. He was on the pitch for 6 seconds.
Yeah.
So he doesn't get a match rating. I mean, it'd be very unfair to rate him.
Yeah.
Rate him.
Yeah.
Mesut Ozil when he came on today.
He didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I'd give him a 4.
A 4. That's a bit harsh. 4 is like shit.
Yeah, but he didn't. He wasn't on the field enough to contribute even. So it's 4, 5 around there.
Yeah, I gave him a 6. I mean, maybe because I'm an Ozil fan and I love him, but I give him a 6. Olivier Giroud finally.
Yeah, like that again. They both came in for under 10 minutes, so it's hard to give a rating. But I'd say I'd give him a 6 as well.
Yep. So, what do you reckon today? Are you happy with that result? You have to be.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was a good result. Kept a clean sheet as well, which is good.
Third consecutive clean sheet in the Premier League.
Consecutive, exactly. So that's good. And then we go to Brighton, so it's looking good.
Yeah. All right. On to the next segment. This is where it's our final segment of the day, and this is where I'm gonna try something a bit different, a bit more interactive with you guys. So today, FIFA 18 comes out. I actually got a cool as well special edition.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's like a steel tin.
Is that the only version you could get? Because there was the.
I got it because I pre-ordered it. I got this because I pre-ordered it.
Yeah, but isn't there the old Ronaldo edition as well?
No, they've changed they did change the artwork cover. It used to be last year's kit when they were selling it online and all that, but now it's. By the way, I don't have 2 versions of it. There's a special steel case that came with it. Anyway, so FIFA 18 came out today in Australia. I think it came out in England over the weekend, but it's here in Australia. So now I thought I'd play a little bit of a game here. And feel free, by the way, if you disagree with me or if you have your own opinions on the comments after the video, basically tell me certain players and tell me your opinions on this. So we're going to play a bit of a game called Higher or Lower. It's actually a game that from America, when we do fantasy, NBA fantasy specifically, people will give you a value of what they think a player will be for the season, or the initial value, and it's your decision when you're playing fantasy to when you're drafting is to think, will he over project or will he under project? So here are the FIFA ratings for Arsenal players officially, as copied down on my notepad from the TV. No rumors. This is the real ratings for Arsenal's player rating. So I'm going to start from the bottom and move away up. And Roshan, you're going to tell me whether you believe it's higher or lower. I'm not going to go through the whole team because they'll be here all day.
Yeah.
So I'll start with a very controversial one to begin with. This is Reece Nelson's very first ever appearance on FIFA. And they gave him a rating of 59.
Okay, so can I say that's fair, or do I have to say higher or lower?
You can say it's fair if you want.
Oof. I love Reece. I think I'm gonna have to be a little biased and say higher.
I'd say higher as well. I was expecting something like 70.
What? Really? No, I think that's a bit too high.
No, 70 is usually like a shit player who I usually wouldn't want on my team, my first 11, right? But for a 17-year-old who, when he comes into the game, looks like he could boss it, like he's part of the game. Like 59 is like the really, really bad players who are very coordinated.
But FIFA looks at the amount of players you play, the amount of games you play in like first team and things like that. So because of that, because he is still young, so I think it's not too far off. I'd even go to say that that's fair. Definitely not 70. No way.
Yeah. Okay, let's look at other ones. Okay, here's an interesting one. Rob Holding, 72.
Ooh, Rob Holding. I might even say that's high.
That's too high.
Yes.
I was thinking that's low. I would have gone higher. I think he's 75 because Callum Chambers is rated 75. So I'd have thought that really Callum Chambers and Rob Holding on the same wavelength. So I thought maybe Callum Chambers Rob Holding should have been 75. But okay, bit of a name that doesn't come up usually, and that's Matthew Debussy. His rating is at 77. Higher or lower? Or that about right?
Lower.
Yeah, I would think lower as well. I mean, he's nowhere near the player he used to be. I think that's giving him a lot of credit. Okay, that's okay. Per Motorsoccer, 81.
I think that's fair. What I'd like to see is what his speed is.
Oh, his speed. Oh yeah, I don't even look at that with. I'll look at it with the really fast dudes. You know, you'll know the speed count.
Yeah.
I believe it's 96 for Theo. I think it's one of the higher.
I think
fast.
I don't even think he's the fastest anymore. I think there's a couple other players who are faster.
Well, there's some players for some reason are like 98 speed. Aubameyang is 98 speed. I mean, that's fair though. He's literally a speed demon, and I think Bellerin's like 97 speed. And Messi's also 97 speed, and Ronaldo's 98 as well. Maybe 98, 90. Anyway, I may be making a lot of bullshit up. I'm not looking at the fact. All right. Speaking of Kolasinac at 80. See, this is my thinking. How is Per 81, but Kolasinac is rated lower than Per?
You reckon Kolasinac should be rated higher than Per?
Yes.
I rate Per pretty highly. I think Per has proven himself more than Kolasinac. Kolasinac looks good now, but Per has proven himself in vital games.
Yeah. I mean, I would have thought Kolasinac 82 would have been fair for Kolasinac. Given that Granit Xhaka is rated 82, and that's the next one.
Fuck, what?
So
lower that shit.
So if Granit Xhaka is 82, then Kolasinac should be 82.
Yeah, but then you can't compare a defender with a midfielder.
I guess. But yeah, so yeah, Granit Xhaka lower. I reckon I would have lowered him to 81 or 80.
80 would be fine.
Yeah. Aaron Ramsey, 82. He was actually a lower, by the way. Lower than last year. Last year, Aaron Ramsey was rated 84.
Was he?
Yeah, so they've taken him down 2 points.
I think he should be in 81.
Yeah. For some reason, FIFA loves Aaron Ramsey. Like
Who?
I've played FIFA where I've bought like Verratti like
Yeah.
last year, and he was the same rating as Aaron Ramsey. I'm like, how is that possible? I think this year Verratti's 86.
Are you
Olivier
making that up
Giroud.
again?
No, that's definitely I was looking at it. It's 86. Um, Olivier Giroud, 82.
Ooh, I'd say that needs to be higher.
I'd say that I would agree. I'd also say higher. Um, okay. See, this is a very interesting one. Mesut Ozil gets a lot of stick. I agree with this rating. Personally, this is why I rate him. And every time I argue with people about Ozil, I always rate him at this rating. That's 88, which has been his FIFA rating now for 3 straight years. He's gone when he first joined Arsenal, he was 85, then he was 86, and this is his 3rd straight year being rated at 88. Higher or lower? It's very interesting. I would say it's fair, but a lot of people would say that's very high for a player who doesn't turn up in the big games.
I would say 88 would be when he was at Real Madrid. I'd say he'd be lower now.
See, that's interesting because his FIFA rating is higher now than it was at Real Madrid.
Yeah, that's he was. I think that he was a lot more impactful at Real. So I think that his FIFA rating should have been higher then, but now it's too high.
Yeah. FIFA, also, again, another player that they love. Now, another one I think is very controversial because I think he's slightly, for some reason, another player that even if he regresses in his ability, FIFA will always give him a high rating. That's Petr Cech. He's rated 86 for a goalkeeper. Now, I would believe that I would check in his age now and what I see the player Petr Cech in real life, I'd probably rate him around 83, not 86.
Ooh, I rate Petr Cech pretty high. I think, yeah, I'd say 85.
Yeah. So you would say still that they
Still
raised him
lower. Yeah.
lower? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Koscielny is at 84. He's dropped
Oh,
one. He was 85 last year.
I think it'll be lower.
Yeah. You don't think he's that good?
I think it's good. We got to look at who else is 84 though.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not
I
actually
think
looking at the other players in the league, so I couldn't really tell you.
Yeah, I think that'll be a better comparison. Like if you're putting Koscielny 84, you got to see who else is at 84.
Yeah, that's very true. But see, I would imagine that some of the best center backs in the league, like I would imagine Chiellini's probably 86.
He's probably like 88 because I think he was 88 last year.
88. Yeah, Mustafi is given the exact same rating as Koscielny, which I think is fair. I think they're just as on a similar level to each other.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah. The other player rated in the 80s, that's Cazorla, who we have not seen in almost a year. He's rated 83.
Ooh, that's harsh. But then
you have to think about it. He was rated 85 last year also. If you think about Cazorla, we haven't seen him a very long time, but if you remember, he's a fantastically gifted footballer. He's 2-footed. You know, he can take the ball and from a defense to attack. He's the missing link that really Arsenal's missing right now.
but the fact that he hasn't played,
football player, yeah. But does that affect your rating? Because it's sort of like he's injured, but when he comes back, he'll be 83. Or when he comes back, he's going to be less impactful, maybe a 79 or a 81.
I think it's just FIFA's standard thinking that you haven't played, so there's nothing to say that you're even in the same standard. So you got to come back and prove yourself, kind of thing.
Yeah, they have taken him down by 2 points.
Yeah, I think that's harsh, but it wouldn't make sense keeping him on the same number.
Yeah,
if he hasn't played for a year.
Now, here's a very controversial one. He's a controversial figure on the lips of all Arsenal fans, and that's Theo Walcott, still somehow rated in the 80s. He's rated at 80.
Yeah, I think that's fair. He's definitely not it.
So?
Yeah, you can't. I mean, you can't put him in the 70s.
But
Or
see,
could you?
I want to make a comparison for certain players in our team who are get ahead of him in Arsenal's pecking order right now.
All right.
Alex Iwobi is rated 74. I'd
But
say higher. I reckon.
Alex Iwobi is much younger though, and he's only just starting out. So I reckon Alex Iwobi has a lot more potential to grow. Whereas
Theo's a better finisher. That is a very should be taken into account. He's a
Theo's
better
just
finisher than Iwobi.
yeah, but he's also what'd you say? He's more he's got more meat. He's got more games under his belt.
Yeah. I mean, look, that's fair. Welbeck is given the same rating as Theo at 80.
Oh, but I reckon lower.
You reckon that Welbeck's a lower rating than Theo?
I reckon Welbeck should be lower. I do.
I mean, the only thing as actually thinking about it, Welbeck frustrates me just as much as Theo does in front of goal.
Yeah. Welbeck
I feel like
frustrates me really badly.
I feel like it's sort of like chalk and cheese. Like wherever you put Theo, you got to put Danny as well.
But at least Theo has his speed, and when on form,
the work rate. Welbeck's at the work rate.
Yeah, okay, I guess. Yeah, it sort of balances itself out.
Yeah.
Yeah, now
and Welbeck also has a speed, by the way. All right. We'll bring this to a close very soon. I'll talk about I'll talk about some of the youth players after we cover the two big guys, and then we'll talk about some of the youth players. At the top of Arsenal's standings, the highest rated Arsenal player is Alexis Sanchez at 89.
Higher.
He was 86 last year. You think he should rate higher than 89?
I think he should be 90.
I don't know why he 90. I do think. I think he's one of the top players. That's actually, I would think 90 or 91.
No, I think 90 is just perfect. I mean, what is he now? 89?
Yeah.
That's something like, I think, because Robin, if you think about Arjen Robben, at one point he was 90 as well, and then he got dropped down. But now Alexis Sanchez is in his prime. I think he should be in 90.
He scored 30 goals last year as well.
Yeah. Like, how do you not put that as a 90?
I mean, look, 89 is, I think, remember, if Alexis Sanchez picks up form in the season, he can go dip into the 90s on FIFA. Because that is how FIFA works, if people didn't know that. Anyway, Alexander Lacazette was rated 85.
Oh, I just had I
have higher.
I just had this. Give me a sec. I'm looking at the top 100. Yeah, here we go. Did you say Alexander Lacazette was 85?
Yeah.
I'm looking that Lukaku is rated 86. If Lukaku is rated 86, Alexander Lacazette should be higher.
Lukaku should be 86 then. I mean, sorry, Lacazette should be 86 then.
Correct.
Yeah, what's Alvaro Morata?
Alvaro Morata?
Yeah.
I do not have that on me right now.
Because I'm trying to get a gauge for the new signings in the Premier League in terms of strikers. Their output, which is all very similar right now in the Premier League, that they should all be at the same rating.
Morata is on 84.
Okay. So I think basically they were saying that of those three strikers, Lukaku is the best, Lacazette is second, and Morata is third.
Well, let me have a look at Aguero's 89.
I reckon Aguero's 88. I think he goes a bit lower. I think he's declining a bit in his career, especially with all
Still,
of the injuries. He's still a world class player, and 88 is a very good rating for
yeah.
Aguero. But I
Not
think
89. He's 89.
yeah. No, but I think he'd be 88. I should be 88.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. Harry
What are
Kane's
they?
86.
Oh, I get. I mean, if you think about it, no. I mean, wait. I'm just evaluating because remember, Lacazette's just joined the Premier League, so it's hard to compare them now. Actually, they scored the same amount of goals now in the league. Lacazette scored more goals than Kane did last year. At for club, I'm pretty sure he did that the year before that, and the year before that. I think they're on
Hmm.
the same level. They've actually come up at the exact same time and peaked at the exact same time and produced similar numbers. So I think Kane's a very good player to compare Lacazette to, and I think
Hmm.
Lacazette at 85 is slightly harsh on him. I think he's an 86 striker.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. So just finally, we'll talk about a few of the young players before we end. Debutants to the game. Actually, a few that are non-debutants. Um, so I'm going to rate basically the players that Arsenal would be considered youth players at Arsenal. I'll name you all their ratings, and you basically tell me if some of them have been unfairly put above others.
All right.
So Maitland-Niles is 65. He's the highest rated one, along with Gideon Zelalem, which is interesting. 64 is Chuba Akpom. 63 is Ren Adelaide. 63 is Tafari Moore, who, by the way, has never played a first-team game for Arsenal. 62 is Christian Bielik. 59 is Eddie Nketiah, who also makes his bow in FIFA. And 59 is Reece Nelson, and 59 is Mark Bola. How is Tafari Moore 63 and Nketiah and Reece Nelson are 59?
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous. I think uh yeah, it's tough on that one. Like I don't have any information or knowledge on much of the younger players, but seeing how Reece Nelson has played and if he's rated lower than someone who has not played at all, that's pretty shit. That's pretty harsh.
Yeah. Um, and yeah, ZLM, by the way, hasn't necessarily impressed the upper hierarchy at Arsenal either.
Yeah,
You would have thought by now he would be playing more first team games, but he's
absolutely.
still so for me, I don't know where FIFA come up with some of these ratings. Maybe they don't really pay attention as much to the young players, and if
Mm,
they're keeping an eye on them as much as we do, they would know that if I was going to rate Reece Nelson, a real rating, and we'll go back, he's where I started and where I'm going to end this game.
mhm.
Um, if I want to put Reece Nelson, he needs to be at least 65 or 66. If
Yeah,
Maitland-Niles is 65, Reece
Reece
Nelson should
Nelson
also
should be
be
a little higher.
65.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching this. Thanks so much for Roshan for coming on. It was a great victory for Arsenal this week. Our next show will be on Thursday, where we preview Arsenal's trip to Belarus to play Bate Borisov in the Europa League. And of course, our next Premier League fixture is on Sunday against Brighton, and we'll be having a pre-kickoff show prior to that game. Of course, it'll be after the grand final here in Australia. So I think not just, am I wrong in saying this, but there's also a NRL grand final this weekend as well.
I think there is. Yes, there is.
So it's a very busy weekend here in Australia for you tuning in from other countries, notably England, which I'm noticing every single day. I'm getting more and more viewers from there, which is basically the intention of this whole show. Um, outside of Australia, of course. So that's what's going on here in Australia. But until then, thank you so much for tuning in. please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new. Leave a comment down below, especially about the FIFA rating thing. You tell me, some of the players that we've mentioned, should they be rated higher or rated lower? I'd be very interested, if you do send these comments at all, to read them and see your opinions. But until then, good win. We'll continue this on this momentum, but up the Arsenal.
Are we gonna do this show episode sponsored by?
Oh yeah, actually, you know what? This episode is sponsored by JB Hi-Fi. They were very efficient in getting me a copy of FIFA, so I'm very happy, and therefore they get the shout out today. Big
Damn
ups to JB Hi-Fi, Australian. Oh, Nivea. Oh, mate, the
I-
hierarchy at Chemist Warehouse is going to kill me because that's something that we sell.
Man, I just got Nivea because
Picked
it's
up
just
JB Hi-Fi.
it was the closest one to me, and I used it quite a bit this week when I was out in the
Just give
sun.
me a heads up. Like, I got something that we're going to sponsor. Anyway, guys, peace out.
See you guys.